What's going on, beautiful people of the internet? Okay, so listen, today's video is about the Starlink Mini, this little guy right here. Now, I live in California, so I'm assuming everyone in California has access to it. I know not all of the United States has access to it, or all areas of the world has access to it just yet. But what I want to do is just do some speed tests with this little guy. But before we can do some speed tests, let's establish a baseline and talk about the equipment that I am going to be using in this test. Okay, first things first, let's establish a baseline speed test with our main router. So I have the standard kit. I am using it as a residential backup plan, so I have the residential service. So let's just keep that in mind. My main internet is AT&T fiber. I have a 2 gig plan. So let's establish a baseline for our main router just to see what speeds we're getting from the main standard dish. Okay, just to show you, I am on Starlink. Mine is Starlink Lee. Let's go over to our Starlink map or Starlink app, and let's just take a look here. We're connected. Let's go over to our speed test and get a baseline for our Starlink internet. Now, I have to say, I have been extremely impressed with Starlink so far because, wow, this is unbelievable. But because the longer I've had this system, the faster it has gotten. When I first got the system, it was about 150 megabits per second, you know, maybe topping out at 200 megabits per second. But each month it got faster. I've had this about 3 or 4 months now, 4 months. Okay, so 455 megabits download speed, 25 megabits upload speed. Fantastic. So that is our baseline. And let's establish just one more test just to get an average here. So 450 is basically what I have been getting lately in the past couple of months, well, the past month. It's been averaging between 350-ish to 400 and something, depending on the time of day. Okay, so 370. Download, okay. And about 34 upload. Let's just call it even 410 megabits per second on the average. Just again, keep in mind that when I first got the system, it was 150 megabits. So if you're looking at the residential plan and the standard kit, it's only gotten faster and faster as time has gone on. Now, to put that into context, if you wanted faster speeds with AT&T, Xfinity, or whatever provider you have, you're gonna have to pay for it. I'm paying a flat fee of $120. Yes, it's a little bit expensive. I understand that, but for the technology and the ability to have this in any area of the United States, doesn't matter if you're in a rural area that has not had established internet or whatever, it doesn't matter. You're getting these speeds mostly in almost any area. Okay, so now that we know our baseline speeds, let's plug this up. Now, the crazy thing is I have to plug this up outside here in this window and point it outside to the backyard. Why? Because guess what? The Gen 3 router is so good, it covers my entire home. Now, granted, this house is about 1,300 square feet, so it's right there within the specs of this router. So technically, I didn't really need this mini router, but I'm debating on buying the Starlink Mini, and I wanted to test this thing out. So, okay, I'm not going to talk anymore. Let's get this plugged in, pointed outside, and we're going to go outside and establish some speed tests. Now, I'm assuming this is going to do a little bit over 200 megabits per second. Why? Because our speeds for our main router is about 400. Okay, let's go outside. I'm going to get this plugged up, and then we'll test. Okay, so we're like 5 to 6 feet away from the node here. It's right in the window behind the camera. So just to show you, we're connected to the mesh system. Again, we're using Wi-Fi only. Let's establish 2 tests. Here we go. Okay, 186 download. $20 up. One more time. Looks like 250-ish. 253 download. About 22 upload. 23. Not bad. Okay, so let's move a little further out, about 10 to 15 feet. Okay, so I had to come inside. It's getting a little hot outside and it's really loud. But anyways, okay, so the tests are pretty much what I expected. Now I've ran this test 50 bajillion times. This is just the first time I've ran it on camera. I expected around 200 megabits per second, although it was a little slower today, but on average I've been seeing about 200 to 220 megabits per second. Now again, let's just remember we established a baseline of 400 megabits per second from the main router. So roughly about half of what we were doing from the main router. Now, again, that's to be expected when you are running it through a true mesh system where you're not connecting anything through Ethernet and you're just piggybacking off the Wi-Fi. You're gonna see a lot more latency and you're going to see less speed. Again, that's kind of normal right now with current technology. But I'm impressed though. Now, if you don't know, the Starlink Mini only has Wi-Fi 5. And for the life of me, I don't understand why it's like $500. Like, I get it, it's $500 because of the convenience of the fact that it's small, portable, well, at least way more portable than the standard dish, which is kind of big. It's really, really big. And the power draw. The power draw is, I think, the main attraction to the Starlink Mini. And well, unfortunately, when you don't draw a lot of power, I don't think you can power a Wi-Fi 6 router. At least that's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming that's the case. So I understand the appeal. And that's why I am actually debating on buying a second dish. Well, we will buy a second dish, but we just haven't decided if that's going to be a Starlink Mini or if that's going to be another standard dish for mobile use. Now I'm leaning towards the Starlink Mini just because of this Starlink Mini router. Now I've seen a few tests online. I've kind of been impressed a little bit. I'm still waiting to see someone connect it directly to the Starlink through Ethernet. I haven't seen anyone as of right now. Again, it may already be out and I haven't looked at it yet, but as of right now, I haven't seen anyone connect it directly through and put their Starlink Mini into bypass mode. Now, I don't own a Starlink Mini, so for sure I know the standard kit with the larger dish does have bypass mode, but I'm gonna assume that the Starlink Mini has bypass mode to where you can turn off the router inside of the Starlink Mini and have it go directly to your Starlink Mini router. Now, I'm assuming that will be the case, and you will see increased speeds closer probably to 300 megabits per second with the Starlink Mini if you can connect it to that Wi-Fi 6 Starlink Mini router there. But overall, I think I am really impressed, and hopefully the freaking Starlink Mini can come down in price. I think that's the only drawback for the Starlink Mini. The Starlink standard kit is $350, right? Well, for most people, it's $350. It may be less, it may be more for some people. I'm not 100% sure. And that is a hell of a buy. I think that is an outstanding price for what that dish is and the technology and the speeds that I'm getting for residential. I think it's fantastic. Okay, so that's it. We've established some speed tests. Again, speed tests are going to vary, I guess, from location to location, depending on how many Starlink systems are in the sky in your current location. But right now, I'm seeing pretty good speeds. In California, I'm seeing decent speeds. Again, on average, 200 megabits per second, coming off of a 400 megabit per second main router. So, okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. I do want to establish what those speeds will be if I connect directly through Ethernet. I'll try to do that in another video, and we'll get some true speeds of that Starlink Mini router, which I'm gonna say it's Wi-Fi 6, so I'm assuming it's just as capable and as fast as the standard Gen 3 router. Just draws less power. Again, I'm just assuming. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.